Ooh, you know it's good when you see that logo. We're going to be doing Turtles in Time. Dude, look at this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, starring Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, and Seizure Warning. Turtles in Time. Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. One player. So I don't know if I'm going to do the whole game, but why not?
This is April O'Neil reporting.
Hey, Shredder. Bring that statue back. You bloated beanbag.
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
3 a.m. All right. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing the whole thing, but they are going to be releasing the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection for the major consoles. When are they doing it? Actually, I don't know the release date for it. So, because of that, I was like, you know what? What can I play? And then I was like, you know what? I remember fondly Turtles in Time. It's a game I've played since a long time ago. It's one of the few games I have left still. I think I still have the physical copy of it. So, yeah, it's one of those few games where, like, I don't know, I have like a really strong attachment to because of how much I played it as a kid. And as a teenager, and just like as time's gone on, like it's definitely one of those games where like if someone, I think I did this with Alyssa, like if someone's not good at like action type games, like for Alyssa, for example, like she's good at like games where you have to think a lot, like RPGs and managing and stuff like that. But like games that are more action oriented and like reflex and like you gotta be, you know, like quick and that kind of stuff. Like she's generally not as good at those. I think she's gotten better because we're playing through Fire Emblem Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes right now, and she's definitely gotten more into it. But I know a lot of games that require like, you know, just like twitchiness. She's not like super comfortable saying that like she's good at those. Oh my god. Oh really? That was whack. So I remember when like this was like when we barely met, I want to say, like not when we barely met, but like when we didn't know each other that much, right? Like we were pretty recent in us knowing each other. I feel like we played this game because it's one of my go-to like for people who don't like play a lot of video games, because not that it's like easy or simple or whatever, or like, you know, like, oh, it's so easy anyone can play it. But like it kind of has this like, there's this like thing about it where it's like it's a beat 'em up, and like beat 'em ups are games that they had at the arcades. They usually have like 2 buttons, and like yeah, you can, some of them are more like advanced and they've got more mechanics and stuff. But a majority of them were like pretty straightforward. There was like a jump and a punch, and that was kind of it, because it was meant to like attract people at the arcade, you know. So, you know, if you don't play a lot of video games and you're at the arcade or you're at the laundromat or at a bar and and you really like The Simpsons and they have a Simpsons video game, like if it's complicated, you're not gonna want to play it. But if it's like a beat 'em up where it's just like, you know, or you're just like, I just have to press buttons and things are gonna happen, and then, you know, it's more fun because there's 4 of us playing. Like in that case, like you're more likely to be like, hell yeah, I want to play this. And I think that's kind of like the same idea with games like this, and that's kind of why like my mentality of like, it's one of those games that I like when someone like says to me that they don't really play a lot of video games or they're not like that great at them. I'm like, let's play Turtles in Time, because it's like, I mean, if you put it on hard, it does get harder because like a lot of the enemies block or whatever. But it's like still simple enough that like anyone can play it, and it's fun because it's fast paced, and the music is like very like, is very like fast paced and action and stuff. And I don't know, like what I'm getting at is that this was one of the first games I ever played with Alyssa. I want to say she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like yeah, this is one of those games, like one of the first games, because I feel like I've played this with Janet too, because Janet's another one who like isn't like good at like reflexy type games, because she doesn't have that like hand-eye coordination. At least she did when she was a kid. I don't know if it's gotten better. But I remember like she always had to like look down at the controller and stuff, so like she couldn't, you know, it didn't come like second nature. So, but yeah, I feel like we've played through this. I played through this with her, and yeah, I've played this game through with a lot of people because of that same reason. And I'm pretty excited that they're be coming out with that like Turtles collection, because it's gonna have this Super Nintendo version, but it's also gonna have the like arcade version that is, I think it's got a few less levels, but it has 4-player co-op, which is dope. And I think it's an arcade game, so I think it's got like more frames of animation or something. I don't remember. And like the voice samples aren't as goofy because they're pretty crunched for this because it's, you know, Super NES. I'm gonna mangle you, green slim balls. It's funny, we did a blocky music on about this soundtrack, and I remember the consensus, and I think the blocky music for this hopefully is going to be up before this goes up, so I don't spoil it. So it should have been up. It's probably up by now, or I'm going to make sure that it goes up before this. Anyway, yeah, like I don't know. I think it's interesting that like for me, I'm like, yeah, this soundtrack's good. But in like the context of like the, you know, of like the game, it makes sense because like the boss theme is really amped up and like the level themes are pretty like energetic and like just kind of like going for it because it's an action game. But when we listen to it outside of that context and we just listen to the soundtrack by itself, suicide. We're like, well, they were like not super into it, except this song. This song slaps so hard. But it was just interesting to like hear it from there, and that's kind of why I like doing those blocky music things. If you don't know what blocky music is, it's one of the video upload series that I do here on this channel, where me and a guest will listen to a soundtrack to a video game, usually a old video game, and then they will, whether it's one person or two people, they will rank the songs on the list, right? So like, you know, just to see like how they feel about them, and then like overall, like how do you feel about this soundtrack as a whole? Like, is it good? Is it bad? Like, what do you like about it? Like that whole thing. Yeah, so we did one on this, and we listened to the music outside of its context, and like to be fair, like, or to be like, I have listened to it outside of context. Like I do like this soundtrack, but listening to them and like how they kind of reacted to it, and then they're kind of like why, and like being in their scenario where like we're just listening to it just to like kind of rate it or kind of like critique it. It was definitely interesting that I didn't like it quite as much. And it wasn't because like they changed my mind, right? Like I mean I still like the soundtrack to this game, but like their points about how like it's just not as, you know, like it doesn't quite hold up as well as some of the other soundtracks. And to be fair, we're like, I think when we did this one, we had just done like Mega Man X or something, or like Sonic 2 or Sonic 1, which has like, you know, like really good soundtracks, like really classic soundtracks. So to have this right after those was kind of like a oh, this one seems like not as good. But yeah, it was just interesting to hear the music outside of the context of the game. But I mean, I'm a fan of the music. I'm a fan of the game. Let's kick show. And I am excited to play the arcade one because I don't think I've ever played the arcade version of this. And like, granted, I could have probably like found a way to like run it on my computer or something, but I don't know, man. I like playing on my TV with the controller, and I don't have to set anything up. I just plug it in and it's good to go. So yeah, it'll be interesting to play that and see what the differences are. Because like I said, I've never played it. I've never seen it in the wild. But yeah, and then there's also Shredder's Revenge that came out digitally, I want to say like a week ago, which is the new game that they did, which has gotten like amazing reviews, and I'm kind of stoked for. But I pre-ordered the physical version, so I have to wait because the physical version is not out yet. But I'm super stoked for that because who made it? Was it Tribute Games or .mu? I don't know, but it's some developers that like have made some really good shit, and I'm like stoked to play it. And that one I think has 6-player co-op, which is fucking bonkers. Turtle power. Dude, I'm so like amazed how these guys have endured for so long. Like they've been rebooted and stuff, and they're still relevant. Like kids still know about the Ninja Turtles. And like to think that when I was a kid, you know, however many years ago, masters say have fun. To like see that they're still relevant and kids are still like, I want to be a Ninja Turtle for Halloween, is bonkers to me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What is he supposed to be, like a werewolf or something? What is he? Oh man, I love these big chunky sprites that like have some kind of movement but not like a lot because they can't. Rizar and Taka. I've never looked these guys up to see like where they came out, you know? Like, I mean, obviously they're all like Ninja Turtles villains and enemies and stuff, but I don't remember ever seeing these guys in the... All right, if you hit the dog, it like cries, which is hilarious, but also sad. Oh, I love this one. This is one of my favorite tracks in this game. It's so simple, and it's the classic beat 'em up like elevator stage. All right. Oh. And what's interesting is a lot of these old games, like a lot of these beat 'em ups, don't have a block button. Because I think of like Streets of Rage, and that does not have a block button either. It's just like, just move out the way. I remember these guys. Roadkill Rodney. I think when you beat the game, it gives you like it shows you all the enemies that are in the game, and it gives you like a, you know, like this was Foot Soldier. This was, I think those are called Mousers. The other robot was Roadkill Rodney. These other ones are just Foot Soldiers of the different varieties. Dude, I'm not gonna make it. Oh! I almost waited to like see if I can get a player 2 for this. But since I'm going to be doing the arcade one at some point, I'll get a player 2 for that. And then I won't be just a lonely boy. A lonely boy. These guys are teaching you that in order to break their thing, you have to lunge into them, which you will need to do because the next boss is the Shredder, and you have to throw guys at him. And the best way to throw guys at him is to like, tonight I dine on turtle soup. The best way to get those is to like run into them and then chuck them. This is such a cool like idea for a boss. Like using the like I don't know what came first, if it was like the fact that you can throw them into the screen, I have a feeling that that was like that. You know, they were like, wouldn't it be cool if you can do this? And then they were like, yeah, it would be cool. So then they did it, and then when they needed to come up with a boss, they're like, what if you had to throw them at him, and you had this like third person view of Shredder? Like, oh, that'd be cool. Like I feel like they made this boss in response to the fact that you can throw them at the front. Which I think is awesome. It's a really cool way. It's a really creative way to implement something that probably was just like oh, wouldn't it be funny if you guys can just do this? Yeah, and to turn that into like now it's a whole boss fight. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this is my least favorite level in the game. You know what's crazy is that like I like the first several levels. Like everything about them, like the music, the like how fast paced they are, and everything. Just it's very like 90s Turtles, you know? And then as soon as we go back in time, I feel like the game just loses me. Like I lose interest around this part of the game. Like I don't like this level. I don't like the music. The theme's cool, but like visually, I think it looks boring. I don't know. And then you get these football guys. I think this is the first level they're introduced in. I don't know, but I'm not saying I don't like this game. I'm just saying that like every time I play this game, like this is where I'm kind of like, eh. What I think is it the boat after this one? The boat, yeah, I'm whatever on the boat. And then we get the train, and I like the train. The train's cool. And then we go back into like the future, I believe. And then at that point, it's already like cool again because you have like another like when you're on a hoverboard or whatever. And then you get Starbase, where no turtle has gone before. And then it turns back into an Ninja Turtles game. So I don't know. I feel like the opening act of this game is really strong. Some of the Turtles in Time aspects of it are not my favorite. I don't know. You can jump, but overall, I mean, it's Turtles in Time. Yeah, like here with the mountain in the background. I like how that looks. Like this looks a lot more interesting than that like purple water and the tree or whatever the hell. I think, are we almost to Spike? This level's actually, are we like almost done? Because that's really short. I for some reason thought this level was hella long. Maybe I just really don't like it, and I always wanted it to like, yeah, it's over. Yeah, the Shredder Rock. Yeah. Oh wait, there's more of these fuckers. Ugh. Yeah. Your history, slime boss. Yeah, this guy's a pain in the ass. Yeah, you gotta hit him when he like flies in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck no! Oh no! Dude, those are just straight up the turtles from the movie. Oh. Oh, it wants me to start from the beginning of this fucking level? No, it's not happening. It's my least favorite level. That's where we end this run. Alright, well, that was Turtles in Time, or at least the first half of it. Someday maybe I'll do the whole thing. Maybe when I do the arcade one, I'll do the whole thing. But for this one, that's as far as I'm going on Turtles in Time. I'm sorry. I promise the later levels are cooler. I'm really not a fan of this one and this level. But yeah, Turtles in Time, it's dope. It's fun and anyone can play it. And if you can get the collection when it comes out, you should, because it's gonna be dope. And there's gonna be like 10 games or 12 games on it, which is kind of wild. But yeah, Turtles in Time. Let's kick show.